Okay, so what we're going to do now is go through what actually happened this week, and we're going to cover it from the lens of two angles: on-chain, which is going to be the second part, and derivatives, where we're going to start right now. Now, as we closed out in our report last year, we mentioned that the options open interest, so the options markets have really grown substantially in 2023. We can see here's our 2023 in January. Blue is the options open interest. Futures have always dominated up until 2023. The options market is now as large, right, on an equivalent scale to the futures market by open interest. Now, the other thing to note is the overall open interest in options and futures have risen by between 60 and 70% over the course of since October. So this rise here is actually somewhere on the order of about 60 to 70% for both of these markets. So leverage is starting to creep back into the market. Now, an important note, if you've been following this channel for a little while now, pretty much most of 2023, there was certainly periods of time when derivatives played a role. The sell-off in August was one of them. The short squeeze in January was another. But for the most part, 2023, I would describe as primarily spot driven. Of course, derivatives are there, but they weren't, in my opinion, the driving force. It was largely the spot market doing it. And pre-October, very much a hodler dominated regime, very little new money. When we broke above 30,000, that regime shifted. We started seeing new money coming in. We saw that, 100% price appreciation from that point onwards. We saw that we actually had all of this leverage come in, 60, 70% growth. That was a real tipping point. That breakthrough 30,000, which is kind of that cycle midpoint, it was the transition point for this market cycle. We kind of went from what I'm calling an uncertain recovery phase, where there's a bit of PTSD from the bear market, into something that looks a lot more like what we've been calling an enthusiastic bull market. People now believe the bottom is in rather than questioning whether we're going back to zero.